But I think for some people, I would imagine at least, that makes being a retired athlete or an athlete who's past his or her prime a very difficult process. Do you talk with your athletes about that, even though they're on the upswing, right? They're in the part of the, hey, I want to get better. But do you spend any time with them talking about, hey, this, first of all, enjoy this like crazy because it's going to be gone, and it's going to be gone probably by the time you're 30, and you have the rest of your life to not be the best at this thing. And secondly, here's how you can prepare for that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I talk a lot with my wife about that because she's 38, turning 39 in April, and she's actually running the best stuff she's ever run still, which is incredible. And I think speaks to like why women age better than men in a lot of ways. But what was really impactful for me at the end of my career was this moment. I was in an airplane, I was looking out over everything and just trying to get clarity about what was going on because I just been through 4 years of massive struggle, right? And what I felt like was just kind of like having a little prayer session with God. And what I felt like, what I was sensing is just this reminder that it's not meant to last forever. Because I think, like you're saying, Peter, it's like when you're in it, you feel like it is going to last forever and it is supposed to last forever. But that's actually, though, like what makes life so beautiful, right? Is that like nothing lasts forever, right? It's like what makes the sunset so beautiful. It doesn't just stay in the sky forever. It's what makes life so special because it's not just going to go on forever, right? So having that moment of realization that it's okay for it to not last forever. It's okay that like that was my day. And I savored it for everything it's worth, right? And that's absolutely what I tell my athletes as well. Like savor every second of it, right? But life is going to change. You're going to enter into new seasons, and life is beautiful every single day all around you, right? So like having this perspective of like, yes, this is very important. This is what we're going after, but like true beauty is around us all the time if we have the eyes to see it and the ears to hear it. And so like removing ourselves from performance some ways can be super, super helpful, not only as we transition out of sport, but even when we're in sport and just being like, this is something that is adding to my life. It is not my life, right? And like I can have this day in Houston, have this very beautiful experience, this very magical day, but I can actually just go for a walk outside my house and look at the trees and look at the sun and the stars and be outside in the moon and get the same kind of like gratitude for life just by simply entering into nature and being fully present in it, So I've definitely, like, my perspective has changed. I was for a long time just all wrapped into this performance, and it's easy to be that way. And I do enjoy going after performances. I love like seeing growth, seeing change in the body, seeing adaptation, going after big goals. Like that's still very much who I am. And I think that's something that helps people transition out of this sport. A lot of people talk about having a sense of identity loss when they stop doing whatever their sport is. But for me, like I had to figure out, how do I stay true to who I am? Because running was just an expression of who I was, right? And it was like my painting, right? But now like I have to find another mechanism to express who I am. So I'm doing that like in the lifting space and these crazy challenges that I'm doing. I'm still like finding a way to express myself. And I think that's what, as humans, like we want to have that experience, right? Like we're here for a reason and we want to express ourselves on our canvas, whatever it might be. And when you lose that ability to be able to express yourself, that's when things can get dark pretty quick, right? So like for people, for my athletes who are transitioning out of the sports, being like, okay, like how do you stay true to who you are? Like I love physical challenge. I love seeing growth. And so I'm going to express it now through lifting, and that's going to come to an end at some point. And then I'm going to find another way to express it. But I think as long as we're continually finding ways to be ourselves and to express ourselves, we're going to be happy individuals.
This podcast is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute the practice of medicine, nursing, or other professional healthcare services, including the giving of medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is formed. The use of this information and the materials linked to this podcast is at the user's own risk. The content on this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Users should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice from any medical condition they have, and they should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions. Finally, I take conflicts of interest very seriously. For all of my disclosures and the companies I invest in or advise, please visit peterattiamd.com/about, where I keep an up-to-date and active list of such companies.